I find great irony in my choice of profession. A first-class geiko is constantly in the glare of spotlights, while I spent much of my childhood hiding in a darkened closet. A first-class geiko uses all the skills at her command to please her audience, to make every person she comes in contact with feel wonderful, while I prefer solitary pursuits. A first-class geiko is an exquisite willow tree who bends to the service of others, while I have always been stubborn and contrary by nature, and very, very proud. While a first-class geiko is a master of creating an atmosphere of relaxation and amusement, I don't particularly enjoy being with other people. A star geiko is never, ever alone, and I always wanted to be by myself. Odd, isn't it? It's almost as if I was deliberately choosing the most difficult path for myself, one that would force me to face and overcome my personal obstacles. In fact, if I hadn't entered the karaoke, I think I would have become a Buddhist nun or a policewoman. It is difficult to explain why I made the decision to enter the karaoke when I was such a little girl. Why would a small child who adores her parents decide by herself to leave them? Yet, I was the one who chose to enter this profession and this workplace, thus betraying my parents. Let me tell you how it happened, and maybe the reasons will become more transparent in the telling. Looking back on my life, I can see now that the only time I was ever truly happy was when I lived with my parents. I was secure and free, and even though I was very young, I was left alone and allowed to do exactly as I pleased. After I left home when I was 5, I was never really alone again and spent all my time trying to please other people. All my subsequent joys and triumphs were marred by ambivalence and a dark, even tragic, counterpoint that became a part of me. My parents were very much in love. They were an interesting match. My father came from a family of ancient aristocrats and feudal lords who had fallen on hard times. My mother came from a family of pirates turned physicians who were very rich.